What's going on? Tonight is a special edition of The Fine Print. It is I, Waffle, and I am just coming out here just out of the blue. Don't have nothing scheduled, don't have nothing to do. But hey, I got somebody that don't have nothing to do just like me. So we're just going to go ahead and shoot this shit. This guy right here had made a name for himself in 2024, and I knew it was going to happen. I called it because right now he was feud of the year. He was the man of the year. This guy is, he's both of his people, both of the people that he's doing is on top. He is the face of WGP and the face of Foundation. He's none other than Shawn. What's going on, man?
What up, man? Glad to be here.
I'm glad to have you. Glad to have you, man. Last time you was here, you was just getting your feet wet, wasn't you?
Yeah, last night it started here, man. It all really started here, right? Because I came in and I had a tough little run, and I started switching my character around and created the master character. And that happened here. That whole creation of it happened on this show. So it's kind of cool to be back here after the amazing year that I had.
Look at us. Hey, look at us. Look at us. Huh? Who would have thought? Not me.
It was amazing.
You cannot say, there's nothing to possibly say about the year you had. I mean, I guess I could tell you welcome home. Since, you just
right.
started. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people say that. I don't know what it is, but the fine print gives a special birth to certain people, gives them a little bit of encouragement, a little bit of hope. And that's basically what I want to do. And I could say, you grew as soon as we were done. I mean, you feud of the year. What else did you have?
I had feud of the year as Franklin Benjamin, the feud with you over the FTW championship. Then I had match of the year with Franklin Benjamin at Winter Warfare against Hollywood Haywood. And then I had the Master one promo artist of the year for WGP and draft pick MVP for WGP. So it was an amazing year.
Yeah, it's rewind time.
Yeah, there you go, man. And I mean, it's fact the match of the year that you had with Haywood, that was the last match of the season, basically.
Yeah,
and
that was the last match of the year for WGP.
And
put it out the bank.
If you guys, what is it, Winter Warfare? If you guys didn't see Winter Warfare and you didn't catch that match, because that match was one hell of a match. I'm not putting my feud aside, but in his match with Haywood, that was, it could have went either way, basically.
That night was cool. That whole night was cool because I opened the show as the Master defending against Dash Mars, and then I closed the show in the main event defending the FTW championship against Hollywood Haywood, and walked out with 2 successful title defenses.
And it was amazing. And still, you're starting the year right now. You're starting the year hot. What's your record now for Havoc champion right now?
What was it? 136 days today, I think.
What? This is a moment in history. Take a picture. Yo!
136 days. I think you're on the cusp of being close to Vagabond, aren't you?
Yeah, because he's like 160 or 160 something. February 7th is day 172, and that's the record-breaking day. So if I get through February 7th, I already know I have if I'm still the champion there, I'll be defending February 9th. I love doing this. So to me, it's more of, I don't want to just walk into things, right? So I think it's a big thing to become the longest reigning Havoc champion, because that's what February 7th is. I'll become the longest reigning Havoc champion in history. Although I'll say this, Jay Briggy probably was longer than me, but they didn't keep track of it. He had 12 title defenses.
Right.
So he probably had it longer than me, but I don't know. On record, I'll become the longest reigning Havoc champion. The 9th, I'll have a title defense. And I said, listen, I don't want to walk in and just basically get handed the record for the longest reign, because I think that's huge, especially passing Vagabond, passing Don Krypton. So I went to management and said, hey, listen, I want a match. And we ended up working out that now I'm going to have 2 title defenses before. So, which I don't care. I want it. Like, I want to have, someone's going to listen to this and be slighted, but I'm going to say this. I don't think I faced top competition defending that title. So
Right.
to me, I want to have a couple more title defenses under my belt. So I have one coming up. I don't know if it's been announced, but whatever, I'll announce it. I'm facing Jason Ridian on the returning Blueprint. The Master will be defending the Havoc Championship there. And if I get through him, I have another title defense that'll happen on the 26th. I don't know if I won't release that name yet because I don't know how we want to do that. But I handpicked this person because I wanted it to be someone
worthy. I understand. You want a championship run. You don't want to be you don't want to be a tainted title. You want to be able to be like, yeah, I defended it, and win or lose, I did what I had to do. And you do. I mean, there's no shame in your game. I mean, there's places that people won titles and they just held it for God knows how long, just because. And for you to defend, what's the point of having a title if you're not a fighting champion?
Right, you're gonna have the title for the longest time, but if you defended it 3 times, what does it mean? Like, you didn't do anything. And you just watch.
Then it becomes jewelry at that point. You know what I'm saying? And that's not cool. But yeah, like I said, speaking of huge, like you were saying, this other persona that you have, Franklin Benjamin. Like you said, me and him went toe to toe. But Franklin Benjamin is one of the best creations that you have out of the two. To me, that's my opinion on the two personas. And what I want to know, I mean, I know kinda, but what inspires you to do what he does? Because first of all, he's very different, a different kind of, and people were like, well, he's gonna die. It's a flash in the pan. You can only do this for so long, but you made this persona last as long as you did. So what's your secret without giving us your secret?
So the whole idea of it's hard to keep fresh, right? Because you don't want to just say the same things, even though you want to have your catchphrases and your things. Like I have my, it's all about the Benjamins. Like that's kind of my thing. I throw in huge and bigly, but I've cut a little bit of the Trumpisms. But the thing is with this character that's so great about it, there's so much longevity because of 2 things. One, the division that he ended up in, right? The FTW Championship is a 6-minute promo, and that's so hard to do. But when I dig into Donald Trump, there's so much I can just say things, and I think there's also the fact that because I'm black, I can say things that Trump says, and people get so upset about. And when I say it, it's funny because it's like, no shit, did he just say that? Like when I called Hollywood Haywood, I said, the only reason the blacks like you is because you're chicken.
That's funny. I mean, a lot of people won't go there because they're afraid of being canceled. I mean, and it's sad. It's sad because when I was growing up, man, all that was just words. You know what I mean? I mean, what was it? Sticks and stones may break your bones.
Right.
But now, now it's like, now it's like you say something, it's just, and the thing I get about this is, Franklin Benjamin, he is a line stepper. I'm going to say a line dancer. You know what I mean? And that's what makes his character great. I mean, that makes his character great. And the thing about Franklin Benjamin is a lot of people that are bound to facing him, I'm sure they will end up being hurt by the time they end the day because of what he says. But with that being said, are you censoring him? Are you holding back? Or does it depend on
not at all.
Who you're facing? It don't depend who you're facing?
I don't care. I won't hold back. Like, think about, look at when I won the FTW Championship, right? That match, the lines I use in that match are still talked about now. I said, so they came to me. I was facing the Purge, and they said, listen, people call this guy a Nazi all the time. Don't do it because he's German. It's low-hanging fruit, and it really upsets him and Mama Purge. So please don't do it. It's going to cause drama that we don't want. And I was like, all right, I won't do it. That would have been fun, but I won't. And I thought, what would Trump do in that situation? So that's what I went with and said, people always accuse you of being a Nazi, but I know that's not true because you're too much of a loser for Hitler to talk to you.
But see those are gene, and to me, I think people can't make those shits up, and then they get mad because you come up with it. So it's like, my God, I wish I said it. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's the point. And like I said, I mean, I guess maybe because I'm not going to first want to say you're old, but maybe because we're old heads, and we know, hey, this is it's a game, but yet you're trying to win. And I think that if you can't handle it or you can't take the heat, get out the kitchen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Listen, the other issue I have with Franklin, the real thing, I'm not worried about being canceled. That's not the thing. The thing is, there's some people, and it's so weird, but there's some people that can't separate the character from the person. And I do two characters, but they still think that I'm Franklin Benjamin.
And I'm not gonna bring. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I'm not gonna bring up the problems that you're having with people that don't understand, because that's just like. And I know
Right.
I've seen that you have drama with these people, and it's on them if they can't distinguish. If they can't distinguish heads from tails, that's on them.
And I get mad. I say things sometimes and go a little cross the line and say things, but it's like you said, it's because we're older. Like that, a lot of young generations will say shit about us, but they don't understand. Generation X, we don't care.
Exactly. Well, I don't give a shit. Say what you want, but guess I'm gonna say it right back. You feel me?
Right, and I'm gonna get crazier. And if you think that you're gonna tell me you're gonna do something, I'm probably gonna say something way worse, and I probably will, because I don't really care. Like you don't understand where we came from.
Exactly, and that's why I respect you. I respect you because you not only you dish it, but you take it too. I've seen people say a bunch of shit, and you just took it right back and said, I'm gonna come right back with this, and that's how it goes. And there's a time with me as well. There was a place where I was at, and I'm not gonna name no names, but they took a victory from me because they said I was too personal. But I think it was other reasons. I believe they didn't want nobody to lose the title, but they said I took it too personal. So they had to throw the match out. I'm like, what's too personal? Like, I didn't say nothing about your mom. I didn't say nothing about you. I said about you. But what do you consider? I mean, and I know, like you said, me and you are habitual line steppers, but what do you consider personal? What is
Too personal? I don't know if it's too personal, because here's the thing. This is all character work and storyline. It's not real. It's not real. That match against Haywood, I said, we were talking about 6 minutes, because he was going around doing promos saying 6 minutes. We're going to have 6 minutes, this 6 minutes, that. I'm going to beat you in 6 minutes. And I said, 6 minutes. I know one thing, 6 minutes is longer than you've ever lasted with Mrs. Haywood. That's but I don't think it's personal line, because this isn't real. I don't really think that. And if someone takes that personal and thinks I really think that about you, you have an issue yourself. And that's what, you have to separate the character from the person and know that if I say something about you, it's not real.
Well, man,
I don't think that you were eating cats and dogs.
老天保佑，金山银山全路有。老天教唆，别管江湖龙虎斗。
I do, like I said, I do like a good Chinese meal once in a while. I don't know what's in there, but like I told you before during our little thing, hey, it's good.
Right.
It's good. So what? Okay, I got a question. Now, Dr. Quack, our lovely Dr. Quack, he's been getting a lot of grief because he does this little top 10. But I mean, it's not him. He's getting from a bunch of people about top 10 to show where to go. What do you think? See, because to me, a top 10 list is not really a top 10 list. To me, it's for awareness. Mm-hmm. Even if you get honorable mentions, a lot of places you're not aware about, and I think he brings it out to show that, hey, this place exists. Now, I know that you're all about accolades. Because if you're gonna play the game, you might as well be. I'm the same exact way. But at the end of the day, how much does these accolades mean to you? I mean, are you losing sleep at night if you lose a title? Or are you just, because you're very competitive. I know that. So that's because I am too. But at the end of the day, how does it affect your everyday life?
I mean, I don't want to lose. I don't like losing. I like to win. That's just in me. I'm a competitor, right? But it's, to me, this is more than the titles are great. I love it. I love that there's actual belts. That's dope to me. I have two titles right now. It's amazing. I brought my title out for New Year's. I had them with me. People are like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm the champ." So that's great to me. But to me, it's more about the stories. Like, we got storyline of the year, and that was our goal. Like, when we started doing it, we said, "Hey, if we do this good, this is going to work, and this is going to be storyline of the year." A lot of people don't realize that some of this stuff, we worked together. That wasn't like I didn't just do stuff and you did stuff. No, we worked together to make that come together. I already have a storyline planned for the Master after February 9th. Whether or not I'm still Havoc champion at that time, I have a storyline that I know I'm going to. It's already been discussed. It's already been worked out. It's going to be led to. There's going to be Easter eggs dropping towards it. But it doesn't matter whether I'm champion or not. I'm still going to go on and we're going to tell this story because it's going to be a good story. And I think this story that we're going to tell is going to be WGP storyline of the year for next year.
Well, speaking of storyline, I mean, and I'm very familiar with Saban. Saban is a personal friend of mine. But you get to work with the Fallen One. And a lot of people, and I know he's very, very different as far as the way his character goes. Like, he's lost, and but it works for him. And the thing about it is a lot of people don't understand when it comes down to it. He's the kind of person that he's a team player. He's the kind of person that you want him to end your storylines. I find him very valuable as far as no matter what you're doing. And like I told everybody, they need to watch out because you and the Fallen One, that's going to be a team to be not to be messed with. He just needs guidance. Like I said, he's got, as if you've seen the last interview I had, he's got it. He just don't know where to place it. He's a guy that got it. He's a shooter that don't have a target. And I think that you're going to be the one to show him. And you're going to be the one to actually bring him. And he's going to be very dangerous. And that's going to be somebody I probably don't want to mess with in the next couple months. But I mean, that's just my opinion. But I mean, was I wrong about you? No. So, you know what I mean? So,
no, but I agree with you. Anything about him, I think I like what he does. Right? Think about it. He and I, when I first started out, had a ongoing feud. We had like a 4 or 5 match series where we were just going back and forth, trading wins back and forth. He used a couple of my catchphrases, and I was like, "What's up with this dude? I'm going to come at him." And so it happened. But that kind of fits in. If you go all the way back, it ends up being a long-term story, right? Because when it all started, he mentioned in one of his promos, we shouldn't be fighting. We should be working together. He said it in one of his hypes for one of our matches. So now it all comes together, and I think his weak point that people talk about with him kind of being off the wall and just making no sense sometimes.
I like your funny words, Magic Man.
I can use that with my gimmick and what we're doing with his gimmick, right? So watch how this evolves and what we're going to do with it. The idea is to have us become a yin and a yang, right? So the Master right now is very, very, very dark and very, very evil. But now that I'm bringing up my apprentice, right, he's going to be like the crazy, wilder one, right? And I'm going to start moving more towards the light and kind of like be his balance, right? So when he gets crazy, like I already told him, I said, "Listen, when we do our promos, I want you to act wild, like say crazy shit. And when you say something crazy, I'm gonna comment off of it and bring it and make it make sense."
It's gonna mean something. Like I said, it'll mean something. Everything, just what you basically gotta do is like, "Hey, listen, do the same shit you've been doing. I'm just gonna be here to be in that." Basically, you'll be the one to catch what you gotta say, which you turn it into something that needs to be done. And that's all he needs. And that's all he needs. And to me, I think not everybody's meant to be a single person. And I think he's the person that needs to be with somebody that's his same his same concept.
Right.
Like not everybody could be a Matt and Jeff Hardy and be Jeff Hardy and go, some Matt need a partner. You know what I'm saying? That's why he had Bray Wyatt when Jeff left him. But and I think, like I said, I think you're doing a great job. I follow you, like even though I was in WGP and you was in Foundation, which now we're both in the same which is great because which
I
foundation.
will have to address stuff there because I feel like this new season there's gonna be things that have to switch up. Things are gonna be a little different. Things are gonna happen. So I'm looking very forward to the opportunities for things. I mean, DB Greatness is officially on WGP. Not DB Greatness. Mr. Wallace is officially on WGP now, right? So what does that mean for him in the GOP? I feel like he's got a whole different brand, right? So he can't be on the GOP and the foundation. So I feel like there's, and we've been recruiting, we're recruiting Bobby Miller, trying to bring him on board. And we've talked about it. So who knows? Maybe El Wapo returns supporting Franklin Benjamin. That would be an interesting twist.
Listen, I'll tell you one thing right now. If I'm not, I'll endorse. I'm endorsing now. So you know what I mean. Even though you never know, with Wapo, you never know. That's I'm a wild card. That's the thing about it. So
right.
It is what it is.
Listen, I'm going to be crazy this year. I've got huge plans for 2024. Not like pun not intended, but it's great that it fits in there. But I have huge plans for what I'm going to do in 2025. We're going to take it to the next level. Right now lined up, right? We've got a tag team title match that's probably going to happen in the BWO against the Smart guys, me and the Fallen One, becoming the longest reigning Havoc champion. So I want to be the face of the Promoverse this year. WGP, when they think BWO, they think of the Master, they think of Franklin Benjamin, because my face is seen all the time. I want to be in storylines. I want to be out there doing stuff. And I have a couple of places that have reached out to me. So there's some things coming for 2025, but here where we are, it's going to be amazing. Watch the work that comes this year. There's a lot of things already in the works.
Oh, I bet. Hey, speaking of BWO and Foundation and WGP, I'm going to bring out Quack's top 10. Well, it's really not Quack. It's EFED's top 10 right now. And I'm going to show you where actually the Foundation, WGP, and BWO stand. They're actually 2, 3, and 4 in the top 10. And that's amazing. And see, the thing about this whole thing is it's not just one person. This is universal. This is promoters, bookers, management, analysts, everybody that had to do with the back end of every promo did voting. And the thing, I even voted, okay? And the thing about it is this is very unbiased as you possibly can get. And some people are upset of the positions, which, like I said, I don't think that you should be upset with the position. I think that you should be. I mean, there's way more than 23 feds in this whole universe. I mean, am I wrong? And I mean, for you to even be mentioned
definitely
in the 23, yeah, and for you to be mentioned in 23, I think that this is a hell of a as far as concrete that you can possibly get. And the top 10 to me looks very good to me. I mean, do you see anything wrong with the top 10? I mean, these are places that's known, and these are places that we've been to, and Foundation for being 2, 3, and 4, man, that's amazing. And I'm familiar with most of these, and I'm gonna say, even though me and I'm gonna say Bronx Bomber have differences, I want to congratulate him for being on the list because the Defiance is making headways, which I was part of the process of the birth child, so I could call myself the sperm donor, I guess. But I'm pretty much impressed of this list. I'm happy. I'm happy that, like I said, the 3 that we possibly in, and you helped it happen. We helped it happen. People watching it, people seeing what it is,
right?
And I think, as far as lists go, and as far as top 10 artists, what do you think about that? Are you? Because I know I asked you, but we didn't really cover it. Real quick, what do you think? Does it have a big thing on you? Like, does it have a big? How do you say? Will it make a big impact if you make a list or not? What do you believe? Like the Mount Rushmore or the list? Is it opinionated or does it define?
I like it.
Who you are.
So it absolutely won't define who I am. I'm just gonna keep doing good work. So like to me, The funny thing is, right? This year was such a amazing year. Like I came out of nowhere, right? I came here in November of the year before for a match. I got brought in, didn't really know what the hell I was doing, didn't really have direction. Then you and I talked. I talked with Don Krypton. He kind of gave me some guidance. The master was created, and then things just started rolling, right? And all of a sudden, I'm the guy that everyone's looking at. So I do have, I feel, a lot on my shoulders because there's a lot of high expectations for me, right? So I feel like I want accolades. I want to do good. I want to get titles. I want to have wins because people have already put that on me, right? So it's important in that aspect. But if it doesn't happen right away, right? But I'll get there. Like I have no doubt that everything, I keep getting better at things, right? Because I work with you guys, and you'll teach me, hey, you can use this for your editing, and you can do this with this. And if you look, even when the master came out, right, I've started to use different backgrounds and different scenes and moving backgrounds and stuff just to switch it up, because I started to notice that things get stale, and you could have a great promo, but if all the other stuff looks old and the same as it always does, people lose it because it just looks the same to them. So I picked that part up, right? So I'm going to evolve. I'm going to get better. Whether I get put on lists, I don't really care. Yes, it's great when there's a group of people that are recognizing you, but it's not going to define who I am. If you don't want to put me on the list, that's great. I'll still go out there and I'm going to do great work, and I'm going to win championships, and I'm going to tell amazing stories. And eventually you're going to recognize me because you're not going to have a choice. That's what it is.
Well, this is two big things that I know to make you successful here in the promo world. Okay. Two of the biggest things that I live by. Okay. Number one is do your homework. That's one. That's, know your opponent. Make sure, you don't want to say nothing. One thing that you don't want to do is lie.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
That's the one thing, lie about, that's just to get a pop or whatever. That's one thing. And number two is listen.
Stop it. Get some help.
All you have to do is listen to when people tell you something. You know what I mean? Just listen to, if somebody's saying, hey, this is what I see, you should change it, or that's all you gotta do is listen. And a lot of these people got potential, but they don't listen. And that's the problem. They think they know it all. And if you do that, you're not gonna go very far. Not at all. I mean, I listen. That's what I do. I sit there and I listen and I watch, even though if I don't, I know I do this stuff like the fine print and stuff, and it's good that because I want I want to have my guests and have them, I want to know what they want, what they're doing, and I want to be able to, but at the same time is you need to know the product. You need to understand what's the point, what is the freaking point?
If you don't know who you're talking about, what you do, like we've seen it. We've seen people do promos and you're like, wow, did you even know who your opponent was? I mean, saying things that just don't make any sense. Now, I'll say this. Franklin Benjamin can do that sometimes. Because Franklin Benjamin just makes shit up.
And think about it. You got 4 years.
But it's on purpose, right?
Yeah. You got 4 years of material. So you're good. but anyways, listen.
Every time, think about how much work we've used from him, even in our feud.
Right. And it was perfect. It was perfect. And man, I tell you, man, I know I took your time. Everything's we're at the 30-minute mark. So what I'm going to do is what I always do is I'm going to give you the floor. You can say whatever the hell you want to say. The floor is yours. You can do it Franklin Benjamin way. You can do it Masta Puff way. You can do it Shawn. It doesn't matter. But if you want to plug something, say what you plan to do. Let people know who you are. There's your chance, bub. I'm going to give you the floor, brother.
Well, I want to thank everybody that's been a part of this past year, because it was amazing for me coming in here, not really knowing what I'm doing and finding myself and building these characters and being able to work with people to do the stuff that we're doing. It's amazing. It's fun. I love it. I'm going to do so much more. Like this year, like I said, I'm going to be a face. You're going to see me everywhere. You're going to see me all the time. I'm going to be everywhere, front and center, whether I'm a champion or not. So just get ready. This year's going to be amazing. I'm going to keep making promos great again and being the harbinger of havoc and just doing this damn thing, man. Thank you all. And I look forward to 2025 being better than 2024.
That's going to be a tall task, but hey, I look forward to it too, man. I appreciate you coming on. And like I said, I'm going to tell you, welcome home, because like you said, this is where, it all started. But hey, I'm hoping to have you many more. Like I said, 2025 just started today, and we have 364 days. So I'm sure you're going to do a lot. So this is El Wapo from the Fine Print, and this is Shawn / Masta Puff / Franklin Benjamin, and we will see you later.